Right now at 6, Portland teachers on the eve of a historic strike.
We would like to come to a resolution, but the chances of that are looking pretty slim.
Plus, the case of the Klamath Falls man accused of kidnapping women and locking them in a cell in his garage. What we're learning from newly released Bodycam footage. And,
well, I mean, big picture, it's troubling.
More than 1 in 3 Oregon students are chronically absent from school. Why some say the numbers are drifting in the wrong direction.
Good evening, everyone. We begin with a new offer from Portland Public Schools to teachers in the attempt to stave off a strike. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko.
And I'm China Green. And within the next hour, we expect to learn whether schools in Oregon's biggest district will be closed tomorrow, impacting tens of thousands of families across Rose City. Let's go right to team coverage of the Portland teachers strike that, barring a last-minute deal, looks like it's just hours away.
Daisy Caballero spoke with students along with the teachers union, but first to Alma McCarty with a new plea from the district to teachers, urging them to stay at the bargaining table on Wednesday instead of hitting the picket lines. Alma.
Yeah, David, China, we are just about an hour away now from that strike deadline. And as you mentioned before, there is a new deal from the district on the table as of this afternoon. The district also released a note to reporters that they also gave to the PAT president and to the bargaining team, urging them to reconsider a strike, asking them not to strike tomorrow, to keep kids in schools, and as you said, remain at the bargaining table. Now, we spoke with Dr. Renard Adams. He is a member of the PPS bargaining team, and he is part of the district administration. He gave us an update this afternoon. He says they've made the teachers union a new offer and that it represents their attempt to accept PAT's proposals within the district's fixed revenue, operational limitations, and Oregon's laws. At this time, that means 440 minutes of planning time for elementary teachers, contract language to offer healthy and safe schools, and new special education language for student supports. But he says some of the proposals by the union remain unacceptable.
We have already offered a cost of living increase that is more than our increase in revenue. We know the union's bargaining team believes that it's insufficient, but we cannot responsibly accept their proposed 23% increase. Both class size limits and the union's planning proposal will create mandatory staffing levels, requiring us to hire over 500 new teachers when we have declining enrollment.
Now, Dr. Adams also said that the proposal currently on the table would still mean budget cuts this year and in years to come. So in about an hour, the district is expected to offer a plan, put that out to families and to parents as to what is going to happen tomorrow. We'll have more on that coming up tonight.
Yeah, we'll see how far that proposal goes. As far as we know, though, we should mention bargaining is ongoing. Thank you, Alma. Let's check in on how students are feeling about all this uncertainty tonight.
Yeah, Daisy Caballero joins us live from Lincoln High School, where she's been talking with them. What did they have to say, Daisy?
Well, yeah, David and China, we've heard from the district, the union, teachers, and also parents. But today, I wanted to hear what students had to say. So I spoke to a few of them here at Lincoln High. And yeah, let's talk about what they had to say. So a strike would leave 45,000 students out of the classroom. Most students I spoke with today support their teachers. Many, if not all of them, say they're looking forward to a short break, though some are nervous about missing class time. They're also hoping teachers get better pay and smaller classroom sizes to improve their education.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think there's some teachers where it's like I've never had one-on-one time with them because it's like such a big class size. So I definitely think that's something that they should be pushing for.
Like personally for me, I struggle with some like topics and like I need to be able to like work with the teacher, but there's always so many students that also need help. So
the teachers union says the district needs to center students and their needs when considering their contract offers. Now, if a deal is not reached tonight, PPS teachers, will be picketing outside of the 81 schools tomorrow morning at 8. Back to you guys.
All right, Daisy, thank you. And of course, we'll have the latest updates on the potential strike, both on air and online at KGW.com.
All right, we have more labor-related news in your headlines this evening, with 1,300 striking Peace Health workers in Southwest Washington now back on the job and back at the bargaining table. Tech, maintenance, and lab workers in Vancouver and Longview called the 5-day strike, which wrapped up this weekend after negotiations broke down. They're seeking pay and staffing increases. The union said it may strike again if talks don't yield progress.
Developing this evening, a shooting and police chase in the Salem area. Police say it started this morning when the suspect rammed his truck into a home in South Salem and shot a woman inside. The woman, who was taken to the hospital, is in critical condition. And this was near Morningside Elementary School, which went into lockdown as precaution here. In the meantime, the suspect fled Salem east on Highway 22. Deputies were able to stop him just outside of Detroit. Later this afternoon, officials confirmed that the man had fatally shot himself.
In North Portland, one person is dead after a house fire this morning in the Kenton neighborhood. The fire sparked at a house on Schofield Street before 7. Officials say there were many people in the home at the time. Most were able to escape, but firefighters say heavy clutter inside slowed their progress. They were able to pull one person out. That person died as a result of their injuries. No word yet on the cause.
A former City of Gresham homeless services specialist is facing criminal charges, including theft, identity theft, and official misconduct. This is video of 53-year-old Kevin Dahlgren talking with our Pat Doris earlier this year. Back in March, the Multnomah County Sheriff opened an investigation into Dahlgren. He then resigned from the position a week later and was arrested today following a 19-count indictment. Police believe there are more victims. They're asked to call the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office. Matt?
Thanks so much, Tina. It is the bewitching hour, if you will. I mean, kids heading out already for trick-or-treating. The sky is mainly cloudy, but it's dry. There's no threat of rain tonight, so we're looking good. And it's really relatively warm, 54 degrees here in town. Out in Washington County, equally good sky with just scattered high clouds, 52 degrees there. In fact, let's check the winds. First of all, still some pretty good east wind out in the gorge and up to about Portland, the Portland Airport and Scottsdale, right around I-205. But anywhere west and south, the winds are basically calm. They've really backed off. So really, as you can see here, not much of an issue with the wind and the temperatures around town, all in the low to mid 50s. All it's down to 49 in McMinnville right now. But again, that's okay. The kids will be fine. There's no rain coming our way in the next several hours. So we'll just enjoy mainly cloudy weather. Temperatures falling through the low 50s into the 40s, and look for moonrise in the northeast sky tonight about 7:35, 7:40. Should be able to see it through those scattered high clouds. Later in the week, though, beginning tomorrow night, we get wet. We get a lot of rain. First of 2 atmospheric rivers, the second coming in Friday night and Saturday. That's going to bring heavy rain a couple of times. Mountain snow, not so much. Snow levels too high. It's a warm, wet pattern. More on this in a bit. Guys?
Thanks so much, Matt. Knew the rain was coming. All right, let's get to newly released police body cam video now that shows the arrest of an Oregon man accused of kidnapping a Seattle woman, then holding her captive in a cinder block cell. You may remember authorities caught up with Negasi Zuberi in Reno, where they arrested him for kidnapping and rape.
Investigative reporter Kyle Boshi got the video and joins us live in the newsroom. Kyle.
That police video has been heavily redacted, with large portions blurred by Nevada Highway Patrol. We obtained the video through a public records request. Newly released video shows police racing to the scene with guns drawn.
Put your hands up!
After officers located a kidnapping and rape suspect from Oregon in a Walmart parking lot in Reno. The body cam and dash cam video from July has been heavily redacted.
For all units on scene, engage in that copy. Possibly an AR-15 and body armor in the suspect vehicle.
In the police video, officers discussed the man they were after, 29-year-old Negasi Zuberi.
What's this guy involved in?
He's wanted for kidnapping, rape.
Zuberi refused to get out of his car and threatened to hurt himself. But after a 45-minute standoff, he surrendered. His legs and feet visible as he's taken into custody. Federal prosecutors claim in July, Zuberi kidnapped a woman in Seattle, posed as a police officer, and drove her 450 miles to his home in Klamath Falls. There, he locked the woman in a makeshift cinder block cell in his garage. The woman escaped, the FBI said at the time, by beating down the cell.
The victim's focus, actions, and her will to survive triggered a law enforcement response that may have actually saved many other women from a similar nightmare.
Since his arrest in July, Zuberi has been charged in a separate case. Prosecutors claim in May he raped a woman at gunpoint in Klamath County. No other details have been released. Additionally, police say Zuberi tried to escape in late August by damaging a jail window. The FBI says Zuberi has multiple aliases and has lived in 12 states over the last decade. He's being investigated in connection to at least 4 other sexual assaults in 4 states, according to federal agents. And when searching his home, the FBI claims a note was found suggesting he had plans for other assaults.
Zuberi is currently being held in jail in Southern Oregon. His federal trial is scheduled for December.
Kyle, thank you. All right, we are hearing from Oregon Congressman Earl Blumenauer a day after he announced that he will not run for re-election.
Blumenauer, of course, represents the 3rd district that stretches from North Portland to Hood River and into northern Clackamas County. Over his 27 years in the U.S. House, Blumenauer was a reliable Democratic seat. His seat, rather, was. Analysts don't expect that to change with his retirement. Meanwhile, today, the congressman said he expects a bumpy ride back in Washington with the new House Speaker.
It's a little schizophrenic with some of them. They're making warm noises, but they're voting to hold America hostage. And I think that's likely to end. It also makes it amazingly certain that Democrats are going to be in control in the next Congress.
All right, Blumenauer, who lives in Northeast Portland, said he looks forward to spending more time in the community and doing what he can to help the city bounce back. His term, of course, up in January of 2025. Pat Dorse is going to have much more on Blumenauer, including his favorite moments and disappointments in Congress. It's coming up right after this newscast on The Story.